What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about some more NHL trade rumors for June 20th, 2018. Thank you for joining me for this video. Like always, the link to the article will be down below from Spectres Hockey, but if you guys want to hear my thoughts as well, hopefully you'll stick around in this video and click subscribe. If you're new, I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you, and click that notification bell so that way you're notified whenever I make a video or whenever I'm streaming. So let's get right into these rumors. We're approaching the NHL draft. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to see which players are going to get traded maybe before the draft or at the draft, or heck, maybe even after the couple days after the draft. I don't know. We're just going to look at all these rumors and see what everybody thinks is going to happen. And the first rumor is on Erik Karlsson. Now, we all know that the situation is kind of slowly trying to figure itself out, and we're not going to talk about it, but Erik Karlsson is a guy that could very well be traded. And Bob McKenzie is saying the deal could get done before the NHL draft. He could get traded at the draft, but, you know, it won't be a big surprise if it doesn't get done. And there is, like I said, still a possibility of it getting done, but he's not going to say that the Senators are just going to rush into a deal just to get it done. But we all know that there has been rumors of teams inquiring about Karlsson, which every team should at least check in because he is Erik Karlsson. He has 1 year left on his deal, and he's going to be looking to go to a contender, apparently. Now, we do know that the Vegas Golden Knights made a offer towards the Ottawa Senators, and the Senators wanted a lot of pieces back, like Theodore and Cody Glass, and that was when Vegas was like, okay, no thank you, we're going to move on, we're going to go after Tatar because we want to make a move at the deadline to prove that we're going for it at this point, which they really did, and they just fell short at the Cup final. But we all know that they did go for it, and they did trade some picks for Tatar, and I would imagine those picks would have been made available in the Karlsson trade as well. So it is rumored that Vegas was the front runners to get him, and Elliot Friedman also said at the deadline this year that they were basically going for him until the last minute of the trade deadline, until the last second. They were really trying for it, but then they made the Tatar move. So it is believed that at this point in Karlsson's career, he would like to play for a contender. So some of these teams that are like fringe playoff teams might have a shot, but contending teams will have a better shot. And who knows, maybe he goes for a big-time contender for 1 year. Obviously, he still has to play out 1 more year of his contract, and then, you know, maybe he'll sign with a contender the next season in free agency. Maybe he doesn't commit right away to a team, kind of sees where he wants to be, because there will be some better teams next season. Some teams will emerge as favorites to make the playoffs and make playoff runs. So there is some teams that are going to be very interesting next year that I'm sure Karlsson would consider signing to, or, you know, accepting a trade to as well. With the Hoffman trade, and now that Ottawa's going through a lot, they're probably rebuilding. Karlsson doesn't want to be a part of that. And let's also keep in mind that the Bobby Ryan contract would probably go with Erik Karlsson somewhere else. The Senators want to get out of that contract. Attaching him to Erik Karlsson is probably their best bet. And Bobby Ryan is a decent player. If he shows up and plays amazing on the team that they both go to, if that does happen, then the trade looks even better for whoever acquires them. But, you know, Bobby Ryan is kind of hot and cold. We don't know if he's going to ever return to the original Bobby Ryan form, where he was actually a pretty decent player when he entered the NHL. So we'll have to see where Karlsson goes, but that's the update on Karlsson for now. The next rumor is on Artemi Panarin. While this one is very new, this one is a rumor that I believe came out yesterday, or maybe even the day before, but I'm pretty sure it was yesterday, where it was basically said that Panarin is not ready to sign an extension at this point. Now, more news has come out today as well, saying that he might just not be ready, and he's not, you know, making Columbus look bad by saying, oh, well, I don't know if I want to stay here long term. He's just not ready to commit right now. He's in the second year of a $6 million deal. He has played 1 season with the Blue Jackets. He had 82 points, a really good year for him. He's a fantastic hockey player, but it's kind of been leaked out there that there could be a possible trade, that the Blue Jackets might be shopping him, which I don't think I really believe at this point. I'm not sure if they're really actively trying to move him. I feel like they might be trying to scare him a little bit by saying, listen, we can't wait forever for you to figure out if you want to stay here. But on the other side, you have to look at it for Panarin. He probably wants to play out the season and go, okay, well, I want to see where I'm at. I want to see if I can step my game up again and see if I can maybe max out the amount of money that I can get, because he is going to get paid. He's a very good player. I mean, he put up 82 points in his first season since being dealt from Chicago, and which I still wish he would have stayed on Chicago, even though I'm not the biggest Blackhawks fan, but no disrespect to them. Best logo in the league, in my opinion. But I think that Panarin moving to the Jackets was incredible. I think he's a great fit there. He put up a lot of points, and they're going to need help again from him. So I would not consider moving him. I would sit down and be like, hey man, listen, we understand. We know that you want to go out there and try to get more points and try to max out your value, but we value you as a player. What are you looking at for money-wise? Like, we really, really would like to keep you around. And I'm sure they're doing that stuff. I'm no genius, but you got to get it done. Panarin's a fantastic hockey player. Alright, so I don't want to be cocky here, but I called this rumor. I said this was going to happen. When we were talking about Phil Kessel a while ago, I said, listen, I think that it's not crazy enough to think that the Arizona Coyotes could make a play for Phil Kessel because of their head coach, Rick Tocchet, having a really good relationship with Phil Kessel. And what do you know? The rumors have come out that Phil Kessel would accept a trade to the Arizona Coyotes. Now, whether or not all of this is true, Phil Kessel is a great player, two-time Stanley Cup champion, and the Pittsburgh Penguins would love to hold on to him from what we've heard. And they're going to find other ways to clear up cap space. Like, apparently, they were making a move for Max Domi, and they were offering up the three players that are listed here are Brian Rust, Connor Sheary, or Dominic Simmonds. So they were looking at those guys before Max Domi was obviously traded to the Habs for Galchenyuk, but those were the three guys that were made available. We've also heard that they'd probably be more likely to trade guys like Connor Sheary or Carl Hagelin. And also Matt Hunwick as well. Those are names that are brought up here in the Spectors Hockey article. This one kind of, I wasn't really going to talk about it. That's why I'm kind of all over the place with it, because this is such a small rumor. I don't feel like Kessel could be dealt. But it is interesting to hear that my theory is a theory that people are starting to look at right now, and that Arizona is a rebuilding team that actually has a lot of really good young assets, and adding Galchenyuk is probably good. They might be a couple players away from being a fringe playoff team because they don't have a lot of pressure, and Phil Kessel could go there and just, you know, play with some young guys and maybe boost up their points as well. Phil's a great player. Again, I just wanted to touch on this quickly. I'm not sure if it will really happen. I feel like Phil probably wants to stay in Pittsburgh, and they're saying that he does. It's just if they were looking at trading him, Arizona would probably be a preferred destination. The last one I want to touch on real quickly is the fact that there's Wayne Simmonds rumors out there from the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, apparently Hextall and Simmonds did sit down talking about contract stuff like that. He's getting paid just under $4 million, and I believe his total salary is like $5 million. He's on a very cheap contract, but I believe he's 1 year away from being able to be a free agent. Now, Simmonds is an incredible player. And Hextall did say, and it's part of this article, that he expects him to bounce back after surgery he just had in his pelvis area. So we'll have to see how he bounces back from that. Simmonds does have a 12-team trade list or a no-trade list. Yeah, he has a 12-team no-trade list that he could put into play. So if he does, or if the Philadelphia Flyers are exploring a trade, we'll probably hear more about it from guys like Elliot Friedman or Bob McKenzie, because they seem to know literally everything, and I love both of them. I wish I could talk to them just for like 10 minutes, but they have all the sources, and we'll probably have to hear more about it. This is just a quick rumor. It's not like set in stone that the Flyers are trying to move him, but they could get a pretty good value back for him, and if he does bounce back and play for another team, then of course it's going to look good on them and not on good on the Flyers. But I would expect the Flyers to want to hold on to him, especially if they want to, you know, be a playoff team again, because they're only going to get better in my eyes. So let me know what you guys think about these rumors. Again, the article is down below. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you. I will be streaming the NHL draft Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, more than likely. So hopefully you'll check that out. Again, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video stream. Peace.